Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me, Mr. Kevin Eunice, the host of the Purposely Broken World. I want to wish you a very happy day. For this episode, I want to talk about the state of the disability union. Because every so often, the President of the United States has to give a State of the Union to Congress, an joint session of Congress, where he presents what's going on with the country, what's wrong with the country, what he wants to fix, what his agenda is, what his hopes are, what his plans are, and, what he wants to eliminate, regardless of whoever the president is. But the disability community is more than just a community. We are our own nation. We are our own country. We are our own identity. But yet, a lot of the times, we ourselves don't know what's going on, let alone the outside public. So I'm going to try my very best here to present where we've been, where we're going, and where we are now. And if we don't course correct some things, we could be in a very dangerous place come the next 10 or so years. Again, regardless of who the president is. But we as a culture, as a nation, as a community, have to wake up and take action and cause good trouble. As New Jersey Senator Cory Booker said, it is time for the disability culture, the disability nation, to cause good trouble. We can no longer afford to wait idly by and hope things get worked out for themselves. Here we go. So, where do you start with disability? Because the fact is, we've been around forever. We're going to be around forever. I guarantee you, disability has been around since the beginning of time, and it will be around until the end of days. If you go to the Bible, we know Moses had some sort of speech impediment. So even in biblical times, there was disability. In America, the awakening of disability, I would assume, or I would pinpoint, it's hard to pinpoint, the start of the disability awareness movement, because it was not a disability rights movement at first. It was a disability awareness movement at first. The truth was, if you had a child with a disability at any age, they could be old, they could be young, anything that was deemed wrong with them, quote unquote, would be to lock them away in an institution so they could not be seen or heard from, so they wouldn't be an embarrassment to their family and friends. In 1965, Robert Kennedy Sr., Bobby Kennedy, as most known, he was the president. Presidential candidate was assassinated toward Willowbrook. Willowbrook was a state-run facility for individuals with disabilities. I will leave a Wikipedia link in the show notes if you want to know more about Willowbrook. He compared the inhumane treatment of those folks to a snake pit and that animals in the zoo are more comfortable than what he saw in that facility. People were covered in feces. Clothes were rags if they had clothes at all. They were abused constantly, physically, emotionally, sexually. But that was the beginning of realizing, oh my God, these guys are humans. Before that, we were not seen as humans. We were seen as kind of plants. Just there on the sideline. We talk to them, give them water, help them grow a little bit, but not too much. After that, we kind of became dogs and cats. Sort of nice little pets. Feed them. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Here's a little pat on the head. And, but still go by your day. You're still less than. We did not become a disability rights movement till I'd say about, this is my opinion, 1975, or I'll say the 1970s, when we had the 504 sit-ins, we had the Disability Rights Act. The Americans with Disabilities Act was in the 90s. The Disability Act was in 1975. Again, I'll put all this in the show notes. You can look this up for yourself. Created the DD Network, which was the Developmental Disabilities Network of agencies that advocate, collaborate, and educate on behalf of people and families with disabilities. This was a key moment because this was the first time we had a voice of any kind. The DD Act gives us three things: a voice of advocacy, which is the disability councils. There's one in each state in the U.S. territory. They advocate for people and families with disabilities to make sure they have a voice in all spheres of life. The Protection and Advocacy Network of agencies, again, there's one in every state and U.S. territory, where they have the legal arm to protect individuals from abuse and or harm. The councils cannot sue anybody, but they can get sued. However, the protection and advocacy networks can serve as plaintiffs anytime. So often, at least in New Jersey, we've raised awareness, enough noise to bring about the protection advocacy groups to bring about lawsuits to group homes and other institutional settings so they can be sued and they can be protected against harm and abuse. The last arm of this three-legged beauty, because it is a beautiful thing, is the Center of Excellence. Again, one in every state and U.S. territory, is designed primarily for education and collaboration within systems. In New Jersey, our system of excellence is Rutgers. We have an ongoing partnership with them where just recently they did a whole series of lectures designed to educate medical students on how to treat individuals with disabilities. But they have a budget passed by the federal government, and it's administered to each state as deemed appropriate. Every state a little differently, but and territory, but the money is there. At least we hope so. Hey friends, sorry for interrupting the podcast. I need your attention for a quick second. As you probably figured out by now, this is a labor of love. It's just me and Jesus putting this thing together. I've got no major sponsors. I really don't want major sponsors. This is value for value. Whatever value you think you get out of this is what I want back. You can donate directly through PayPal and Cashapp. All the links are in the description below. You can always follow me on social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff as well. I've written 2 books, Living Beyond Disability book series. Look that up on Amazon, Living Beyond Disability. I've got a published newsletter for paid subscribers that comes out twice a month on Mondays, every other Monday. My regular blogs that are free go out every single Thursday. Check those out as well. Besides that, just like and share, tell your friends. There's no pressure to do anything at all. With that being said, back to the show. Thanks as always for your time and support. So, that was 1935. That kind of gave way to Due to Human and the whole Americans with Disabilities Act movement. If you don't know what the Americans with Disabilities Act is, it is the first law with any kind of teeth to protect those with disabilities. It's more than just ramps and curb cuts. It ensures us the right to sue those who are being fraudulent against us, who are harming us. However, there's only one problem. The only way to bring attention to this is you have to sue someone for not complying with the ADA in order to get any kind of teeth, in order to get your rights heard back. So it's a tricky lawsuit because the only way for it to have any impact is for someone to sue someone. It's not like another law where automatically you speed, you get a ticket. Here, if I cannot get into a building, I have to sue the owner of that building and hope that I have enough evidence to bring about change. That was 1990. The funny thing is, all these years later, and people still think we have the ADA, so everything's fine and dandy. The ADA was the start of something. It was supposed to be, and I guess it is, still a launching pad to other things. However, fast forward to 2025, and the new administration. Let me say this first. Disability is not political. There are only 2 things certain in this world: death and disability. That's it. Death and disability. Anything else, you can find a way out of. One way or another, you will be disabled, you are disabled, or you were disabled. You are going to die. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you are going to die. So the only 2 things in this wacky world that we know for sure is going to happen is death and disability. It's easy to pinpoint, oh, President Trump is going to cut this, he's going to cut that. But this goes beyond Trump, ladies and gentlemen. People have been wanting to cut Medicaid for years. Not Trump. It's in a way, it's not fair to say Trump is the bad guy, because the whole cut Medicaid thing was an idea way before him. Block grants, which would put severe caps on state spending for Medicaid, was an idea way before Trump. And let me just say this. Republicans are not the bad guy. because the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, was signed by George Bush, a Republican. In New Jersey, the only governors that closed down institutions were Republican governors. So, again, disability does not have a political party. At least it shouldn't. Why shouldn't it? Because disability does not have a race. It does not have a language. It does not have a specific culture. It does have a culture, but it's a culture to us. Disability has a feel, has its own life force. But America refuses to see that because it's not convenient. We want our life to be simple. We want our life to be easy. Nothing worth doing in this world is easy. John F. Kennedy, the president, said, "We do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. America should not shy away from challenge. We should embrace challenges to grow." Cuts to Medicaid will kill us. These misconceptions about vaccines will kill us. All I'm asking, folks, is to do your research. Don't take things at face value. Look, I understand the current administration is polarizing. They both sides know how to use the media to their advantage. It's a way. It is what it is. They just do. So it's up to us as individuals, as people, to look out for our neighbors, to look out for our families, to look out for our friends. That's what's on the line here, folks. What's on the line here, folks, is our friends, our family, our neighbors. Do you want them locked away? Do you want them institutionalized? Because that's what's going to happen within these next 10 years if Medicaid is cut. Medicaid is the backbone to a disabled life. I don't want to be on Medicaid. I don't want to. I hate it. But I need to live. Medicaid is simply life. Without it, we're dead. It's that simple. Ladies and gentlemen, so backtrack. Bob Kennedy Sr. helped us get out of institutions. John Kennedy inspired us to dream. And now Robert Kennedy Jr., by his own admission, doesn't want people to take his word as medical advice, even though he is the current head of Health and Human Services. Again, it's not his fault, it's not Trump's fault. It is this cultural problem that America has created that has made disability the bad guy. Ladies and gentlemen, disability is not the enemy. We cannot be eradicated. Why? Because we're part of the human life. We're part of the human existence. We're part of you. We are part of America. Maybe I said something to you. Maybe I said nothing at all to you. Either way, I thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.